walk you through a simple schematic diagram and talk about the abstractions that we can think of when we look at implementing this logic expression in a circuit. Okay, so let's start with a logic expression. I intentionally made this really pretty simple. And so what we know here is that if I wanted a bar, I would need an inverter. And then I can AND that to get the A bar B term. And then let's have another AND gate with the C input and the D input. And then we're going to OR that together to get the output F. Simple enough. All right, so if I was going to do the transistor count based on what we've talked about in terms of implementing gates, let's take a look at the inverter. The inverter, it's got 2 CMOS transistors. Then I got 2 AND gates. And the way we'd thought about this before was AND gates had 4 transistors to get NAND, and then you had to have an inversion stage that added 2 more transistors. So an AND gate, the way we talked about it, would be 6 transistors. So 2 times 6 is 12. Let me write that down. All right, and then the same thing applies with the OR function. We only have 1 OR gate. It would take 6 transistors. So that would mean that in all, what we have is 2 plus 12 plus 6, and we would be looking at 20 transistors. All right, so in a way, this logic function is expressed with this arrangement, with this schematic diagram. But to implement this, you could do this in a different way, and you wouldn't need to know what's happening underneath the hood, and you could get by with fewer transistors. So let's take a look at how that would work. All right, so let's take the A and put that into a NAND gate. And then we're going to take C and D and put that into NAND gates. All right, and then we're going to push the bubbles on a NAND gate into the input side. We talked about that in another video. And so this is also a NAND gate. But look what happens with the inverters. The bubbles cancel. And so what I get on the output is the logic function. All right. So in both these cases, the NAND gate bubble canceled with the bubble on the input, leaving you with, mentally, I view the bubbles as just canceling. If that's the case, that goes away, that goes away, this goes away, this goes away, and I get the original circuit. Okay, so I'm going to undo those and say that, okay, with this realization, if we have all NANDs and inverters, okay, we still have, from the inverter step, we still have 2 transistors. All right, then for each of the 3 NAND gates, we have 4 transistors, so that would be 4 times 3 is 12. And so in all, to implement this same circuit, would be 14 transistors instead of 20. Okay, but often we work at this abstraction level. We don't need to know what happens underneath the hood, that if you implemented this with all NAND, that would give you a smaller number of transistors.